I'm back. A little more endless sky. Hopefully, a little more than yesterday afternoon. So let's get going. Let's see. What is our task? Reason with the Syndicate. That sounds like a bad idea. Alright. There's still 5 jumps. Alright. Let's see which one's more lucrative. 261. 302. Okay. Dashboard outfitter. One protector. Let's not do that. Alrighty. Let's see. 59. Wow. Nice of you to join us. here. 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 Oh, they've caught up. Here, yep. Only when you run on Sunrays, you find that people here are as much a state of confusion and fear as back on Earth. Either no one knows what's going on and why they've been nearly cut off from the rest of human space, or every single person you talk to is united in conspiracy to feign ignorance. They urge you to continue your journey, meet with Syndicate executives on Foundry. Maybe you can talk some sense into them, says one merchant captain. First the nukes and now this extremist faction with the Syndicate is getting out of hand. Alright, where am I going again? Right. February 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Yeah, we should be able to do that. 2. Gooba, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the stream. You are up at an ungodly hour. You going fishing today? Oh, thank you for the host, sir. Oh, one day take care of it for me. Everybody here. Exit. No fishing, been working again about 10 p.m. to 5 every day. Having the exact same sleep pattern or about the same month. Yeah, healthier. So you're on my sleep schedule then, huh? That's kind of what I've been doing. We'll take that one. Alright. Yeah, I've decided that I'm making time in my life to play video games because they make me happy. And either I do that late at night or I do that early in the morning. And for some reason, despite spending the exact same amount of time on them and playing basically both of them in the dark because it's so damn early, doing it at 5 a.m. seems to be much more of an acceptable solution than in the middle of the night. And I'm not saying this for me, so. Oh, suck. 25. There is a main storyline to the game. And I guess if you beat the main storyline, you've beaten the game, but I think there are also side stories that you can do as well. But after that, I mean, the game doesn't exactly end. You can keep playing it. Kind of in the way that you can keep playing, like, the Grand Theft Autos. Alright. See, right now I'll show you the mission that I'm on. So, right now part of the storyline is the Syndicate has cut off this part of space, and this all used to be linked through here because the presumption is that they're trying to escape being brought to justice for using nukes or something. This storyline is not exactly tenuous, but there's a little bit of glazing over in certain parts, just to for the case of expediency. Yes, it is on Steam, or you can download it directly from the website. I guess if you get it from Steam, it'll stay more up to date. All right. Let's see. But I'll tell you right now, I mean, it's not, I'm not sure it's, a short play. It's, if you want to do the storyline, I think I already got like 100 hours into it. But I played a very different way than you might want to play it. Like, I'm going around trading through every single point, every single port, trying to get to my destination. Which you don't have to do. Everybody's here. Not worth it. Good money. Yeah, I'm not sure how reputable the main storyline is going to be in this game. But I've run into so many people in the stream. They'll come into the stream and they'll watch and like, yeah, I played it a few times through. I think I might play it again. Now that I see you playing it, it was fun. And I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. Like, I guess you can play it very differently. I mean, like, I'm playing it with like a fleet of like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27. Like 50 ships. Hey Dan, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. I am not awake right now. I don't know what's going on. Alright, let's go here. Or here. That's a wild guess, huh? Am I gonna have nothing to do? Yeah, it gets to be a slog. When's your next week off? You gonna do it the week after E3, you said? I'll go here. Oh, nice, man. Nice. I keep threatening to book a train trip to Chicago. Is everybody here? Finally. No, it's not that bad at all. I think the Capital Limited is like $200, $220 per person in the sleeper cars, though. So that's not too bad at all. Oh man, that sucks. I thought they all had Wi-Fi at this point, but I guess not. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I guess you could say that. Sure sound like an idea. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope, can't make it. You know how those public Wi-Fi things are, though, especially from a moving thing. You know, you get like 12K upload speeds and then like 13K download speeds. Let's see. Right. Oh, cool. They have gotten a lot cheaper, though the service is where they get you. Yep, exactly. How long is the train trip? Is it a couple days, I'm guessing? $40, so effectively 2 days by the time that the freight companies get you. Alright, that's where we're going. We did that right. We bought the right stuff for that. 116. We did. Yay, everybody's here. Thank you for joining me. cool, man. You visiting anybody in particular, or you just going? Oh, cool, man. That's awesome. Fair enough. I didn't know if how much family you had there, etc., etc. Unlimited rice pudding, that kind of stuff. Gotcha. Yeah, that happens. That does happen. Let's see, 86, 96. Very much, quite a lot can happen in 10 years. Heck, a lot can happen in 2 years. Everybody here. Everybody's here. Obviously, people that don't have computers in their pockets. Must be a lot of phones, but they're not the little giants of there. No, that's true. Telephones were attached to the wall. You didn't have cordless phones? I remember my parents had this phone that was mounted to the wall, and then one day I was just kind of looking through this random box of electronic stuff, and there was this phone. It was just this, a cordless phone. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I go to my dad, what's this? He's like, oh, I forgot our phone has a cordless adapter to it. It's like, what, you mean I've been sitting here tethered to this wall for the past however many years, and there's a wireless attachment for it? It's like, yeah. uh, yeah, 10-digit dialing would have been a much bigger pain in the butt had it not been for touch-tone phones. I remember when I was growing up, Verizon or what are they? Bell Atlantic, CNP Bell, I think is who my thing was, and you had to pay extra for touch-tone dialing, and my dad wouldn't, so we had to put it on. We had this phone that emulated dialing, the pulse dialing. Remember when I was using the BBSs, I had to do the pulse dialing. And it's just like, oh, I can't dial fast enough to get in between people trying to get into this BBS. Yeah, honestly, if you get regular copper line from the phone company, you still have to pay $8 a month for caller ID. They're very, very much trying to get people off of the copper lines. next? Sell all. 118. Stupid device with a really bad LCD display. Yes, that was a horrible LCD display. It's almost like they had to try to get that crappy an LCD display. You know, they're the phone company, so they probably were trying to get the crappiest LCD display possible. God, that was about 200 feet long. This is without being dragged all over the house. The best part about those is you have to untangle them at the end of the cost at the end of the call. You need to improve the copper to the last mile, and then rip out the copper before that install fiber. Well, yes and no. I mean, the nice thing about copper is that copper always works. As long as there's connection, it always works. So there's, you know, the emergency systems are always available. Whereas with fiber, if you don't have your own head-end power, or your, what is it called, the ONT power, you don't get emergency services. Suck it. All right. As you're coming from landing, you announce yourselves to spaceport authorities, diplomatic representative of free worlds and republic. The moment you have landed, a Syndicate employee meets you and escorts you to their headquarters, to the incredibly fancy corner office of Alistair Corbin, CEO of the NCR Syndicate Corporation. I'm very glad you've come, says Alistair. Seems unlikely that we can defeat this attack unless we work together. Wait, says Alonda. You're saying this whole thing is not the Syndicate's doing? Alistair seems taken aback. Of course not. Seal off valuable trade routes? Why would we do that? Terrorism was the action of a certain extremist faction that we have since purged from our ranks, and we were in the process of hunting down the perpetrators. Your raid on Nimbus interrupted those plans and gave the others a chance to go into hiding, but we will see to it that they too are brought to justice. But now we need to put the past behind us and figure out how to work together against our common foe. Oh, sweet. Is this yesterday's video that's blown up, or is it a different one? Called the Pug. Irrational alien species that previously inhabited a single star system between Syndicate and Republic space. They have since expanded their territory to include all the human systems neighboring their own star, and have essentially made those human worlds into their slaves. How do you know this, Esselanda? Esther paused for a minute as if you're trying to figure out the best way to explain himself, and then says, one of our ships traveled to the occupied systems using a jump drive that we acquired from another alien species. He seems to realize how unlikely that sounds and backpedals. For years we've been dealing with occasional raids from a species called the Korath, and as best as we can tell, they're nomadic scavengers and pirates who currently inhabit the galactic core. Over the years, we have disabled several of their ships and stolen their jump drives. Cool, I haven't had a chance to take a look at yesterday's video yet, but I will soon. Did not occur to you that attacking the Korath might be your alien species? Wait, no, there are two different alien species around. Stories getting more convoluted and unbelievable. Yes, he says, it's a very convoluted mess, which is why we need your help. Assuming you're really telling the truth, says Alana, what sort of help do you need from us? Says we have only 7 jump drives, so whatever fleet attacks the Pug can only contain 7 ships, unless the Quark or someone else give you more drives, I suppose. So the ships must be stronger than any ship we have in the Syndicate space, because the Pug are very strong. They obliterated our fleet that has been occupying the Sol system, even though that fleet was armed with the majority of our nuclear arsenal. So you're saying you'll provide the jump drives, won't provide the ships? Sounds fair enough. But you're saying that your fleet was in orbit around Earth, was armed with nuclear weapons. Are you genocidal? Sweet. Hey Dan, drop a link in the chat. I do not mind in the slightest. I very much enjoy your show. Sweet. Alright. Yeah, no problem, man. You are welcome to any time you like, man. Especially if you're particularly proud of an episode. Heck yeah, man. I'm just glad there are other people here to see it. Let's see. Alright, I was just thinking the kind of person who seldom admits he's wrong, but your question definitely frustrates me. Okay, I admit I've been making one bad decision after another ever since. Well, since that first bad decision, it just got out of control. We thought the neighbor was going to raid us and put us all behind bars. We thought we needed a deterrent. It was stupid, I admit. Okay, now please just let us move on. We need your capital ships and you need our jump drives. Hold on, Silano. I have one condition, and you will give us one of your jump drives immediately. We will install it on our ship and verify that you're telling the truth about the bug. If you are, we will work together until this threat is dealt with. And once it's dealt with, we will return our attention to bringing. Remember, the Syndicate had handled this terrorist attacks to justice. Our best and final offer. That's our best and final offer. You not even. Clear that Alistair is none too happy about the deal, but he accepts it. Jump drives are being kept on Hephaestus, he says. Our division was trying to discover a secret behind them with little success. If you travel there, I'll tell them to install one of the jump drives on your ship. Guys who make world of tanks are pulling some shit. Some guy said fuck you to the company and called their game pay to win and a bunch of stuff. Nothing you would consider libel. He's threatened the DMC. I don't like what he said. Yeah. And that's really the problem with YouTube, I find, is that, you know, they don't give the video creators any recourse. You know, I should be able to say I disagree with what he said and force him to file a DMCA. And well, yeah, DMCA isn't for libel, and I think if they do use it for that, I think if they do use it for that, that is perjury. It's not a copyright thing, but you know they'll probably turn it into a copyright thing. You know, you've used our name, our trademarks, or whatever it is, even though DMC is not really supposed to be for trademarks either. So, all right. Where do we go? Install the jump drive. Well, again, you know, it's abusing the system, so it doesn't even have to fall under fair use. I mean, like the whole idea that you're going to hide behind fair use is bullshit because it's not even a copyright claim. Fair use is for copyright concerns. You know, it's like, I'm going to pelt you with this rock. Well, I'm going to go poo. Is it what? It's like, I don't know. It's clear that the laws are written in a way that they can be abused, and YouTube is colluding with the abuse. So, it's I think that's one of the things that you need to that I would bring up every time one of these stories came up, that YouTube is colluding with these people, making it basically impossible for the content creators to defend themselves against what is effectively racketeering. Yeah, there's not apathetic though. They've created the systems for the abuse, and they don't care that people are using them to abuse people. And they're sitting there hiding behind their terms of service, saying, you've agreed to our terms of service, so you can deal with it. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's one of those things where YouTube is very much in collusion, but, it's because they're it's because they feel like they have less to fear from the content creators than they do from the people putting copyright claims, is why. It's not so much that they think they're doing the right thing. It is a purely business decision that they've made. Yeah, but average YouTuber doesn't have the money for lawyers. You know? And at the end of the day, I can step on them all I want and really not fear too much retribution. And even I can step on people with money and not real fear too much retribution because of my terms of service. I mean, I'd like to see their terms of service be challenged on just violating the law. Them colluding with people to violate your rights is not protected under any law, regardless of what you've agreed to. But that's not how the courts have seen it in the past. So they're in a pretty strong position. One, two, three, four. I can get there. One set of jumps. Oh yeah. Right. So second, I'm going to read that. Welcome to the show. So Bush is the same thing as when Twitch doesn't allow you play music or streaming music through VOD. They say it's copyrighted. You talking with the music breaks any copyrights. The same note, they allow their sponsor streams playing music they want from YouTube to Twitch and anywhere else when we are one way or another. It's all about money. Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. If you don't make the money, they really don't give a shit about you. Venetian blinds. So, 81. Let's see. Hi, DJ95. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. Trading. Wait a minute, I already haven't done it yet. Nothing about cinematography. Well, dark magic, voodoo, etc., etc. Can hold the warp button away for you. Oh, I did not know that. I thought it was just to hold the map up. I will try that this time because that is effing annoying. This is by something very low. This waits for them. Alright. Good, nobody got jacked up too badly. Still left one behind. Gotcha. Cool. Thank you for the pointer. I'm going to take this one out. You're directed to land in a hangar some distance away from the spaceport. Cluster buildings owned by Syndicate systems. A team of engineers meets you and quickly efficiently removes your hyperdrive and replaces it with a strange, alien-looking device that you assume must be a jump drive. Now be careful with your fuel gauge. One of them tells you, this thing guzzles twice as much fuel per jump as an ordinary hyperdrive, and you don't want to become stranded while outside human space. Alright. Alrighty. I didn't check that, did I? When in map mode, if you go back to the port tab and click on a planet on the map on the left side, you can see the price of that place. If you have the map info for that place. Wait a minute, hold on a second. Map mode. There's ports, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with this. Alright. Let's see what information that's given us. Well, a little bit, I suppose. Alright. Yeah, I'm familiar with that part of it. Alright. Take something very low. Fitter. Nice. It's not easy. I want to tell them. No, that's cool. No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. It's an entirely alien world. The buildings have strangely flowing, tapered shapes, not unlike the Pug starships. From orbit, you count dozens of large cities covering a large portion of the landmass. Through a human world, you would estimate its population is over 1 billion. You follow one of the Pug ships that's landing, discover a large spaceport where a surprising number of human merchant ships are parked in addition to the aliens. Elsewhere, they have mostly ignored you, but here your ship is quickly approached by a small group of pale-skinned, delicate aliens. The Pug are oddly proportioned with long arms and legs with short barrel-shaped torsos and large heads. And although they only have 2 legs, their gait is vaguely insectoid. You come from outside, one of them says. You are not pledged to the Protectorate. Do you wish to make your vow of loyalty and peacefulness at this time? So we are here to find out why you attacked us and demand that you leave us alone. We are willing to make peace, but only if you give us back control of our times. Star systems. We have no wish to harm you, says Alien. In time, you will come to recognize that we have intervened in your war only to bring peace and to keep your species from doing great harm to itself. We must maintain control of these systems until we are certain that you will not continue fighting if the links are restored. So, the fleet was carrying nuclear weapons of genocide. The fleet that when we demanded their surrender instead attacked us with those weapons. We offered them a place in the Protectorate, but they chose violence instead, so they perished by violence. That is justice. Oda says, I still don't understand what makes you think you have the right to interfere with human affairs. Interfere, said the alien. We have interfered many times before, and you've always benefited. If you do not believe us, ask those who live in the place you call the Deep. We helped them defeat the twisted half-human beings that you created in your foolish attempts to improve your race's genetic code. We have helped keep those creatures in check in the centuries since then, and we have helped in many other ways. Some return. We have brought peace to this region, says Alien. We'll continue to spread peace until violence has come to an end throughout human space. That is our only desire. Although we ask you in return a portion of the goods your worlds produce to help offset the cost of watching over and protecting so many human worlds. And after some time, we will again allow human beings autonomous control of certain parts of your territory. When you show yourselves capable of living peacefully. By spreading peace, do you mean occupying more systems, says Alondo? We mean bringing to an end to your war and your divisions, the alien says. Those of your worlds and your people who have shown themselves unable to live peacefully, we must govern to teach them by peace. Any who attack us we must destroy, because we are the bringers of peace, and whoever attacks us is not on the side of peace. So we will send you back to your people now, to tell them that they have nothing to fear and that they should await our peace and our protection. The aliens appear to think the conversation is over. They walk away and leave you puzzling over what they said. We should report this back to Earth, says Alondo. The situation is far beyond what we can handle alone. $32, yeah? I'm not familiar. DJ. Yeah, Gooba, I think Dan makes high quality videos. I don't always get to watch them every single day, but I almost always end up catching them up over the course of the week. So, Wingless Hawk, welcome to the stream. I'll totally try to misread your name. I always said Wingles Shock, but it's Wingless Hawk. Yeah, you know, it's weird when people are subscribed to your channel. The playlists are almost pointless because, especially if you're producing content, you know, regularly. But you know, I usually end up watching it like 2 or 3 times a week, play catch up. Yeah, he's put a lot of work into it, and it shows. It's very well done. How's your troubles with the camera coming, Dan? Yeah, phone is horrible typing. You got the iPhone, or are you doing an Android? Alrighty. Well, let's do it this way. Camera isn't that big of a pain. Stop filming for 5 minutes. That's such a cool down. It's gotta suck when you're close to being done, though, and that camera decides that's gonna overheat. All I had to do was game releases and the end card, but the camera wanted a break, of course. So I'm playing this game, but I don't know what the best spaceship is. I'm learning. Yeah, that's one of the steep parts about this game. It's learning the ships and everything. There's so many ships, so many things going on, but the consensus seems to be that the Bactrian is the ship to have, because it has a good amount of cargo space, good amount of bunks, and can make 7 jumps. So it's pretty awesome. But it also costs like 32 million or something like that. All right. No jobs. Huh. Did I have access to the system? All right. Oh man. Mars and Earth. Okay. Let's see. Jump drive. off my ships and more cap. Okay. Well, thank you for the follow, Wingless Hawk. I appreciate that. I don't know what I need to be doing here. Strike breakers. Alright. Hilarious. I think I'm gonna explore space one ship at a time, and see what happens. Alright. Let's see. I am going back over here though. Your ship caused quite a stir when it entered the Sol system via jump drive. Fortunately, Parliament allowed you to land in one of their private hangars, but even so, a few press drones managed to follow your ship into the hangar and have cameras pointed at you from the moment that you and Alonso disembark. You report to Parliament that the hyperspace links are being cut not by the Syndicate, but by an alien species, and the Syndicate has offered to supply jump drives for an attack fleet if the Republic and the Free Worlds will supply the ships. You also report that the aliens' intention is to spread out to occupy more of human space and demand a fraction of the resource production of all human planets, supposedly in the name of bringing peace. One of the senators asked, "Do you think we have any chance of defeating the aliens?" It's unlikely. I think we have no choice, says one of the elder members. If it is a losing battle, we can't let the human race be enslaved without a fight. They have many other questions after that. You answer them best you can and leave them with full copies of your sensor logs on the alien ships and planets. Parliament agrees that the next step is for you to convince the Free Worlds to contribute 2 dreadnoughts to the attack fleet. Also, one of the members of Parliament says maybe you could talk to those aliens who live down in your part of space and see if they can help us out in any way. It sure would be handy if the Pug turned out to be an enemy of theirs. During the hearing, you refrained from mentioning that the Pug claimed to have assisted the Deep in the past. But once you are back in your ship, Alonso says maybe we should visit Valhalla, see if Governor Flint has any information for us. Interesting. Gather the fleet. Visit the Quarg. Visit the Deep. Let's go over here first. Alright, Dan. You have a good night, man. thanks for dropping in. Congrats on the video, by the way. And yeah, definitely get some rest, man. I'll see you next time. I'm trying to go here. Very low. How do I use my other weapon? Q to fire secondary weapon. Okay. Woof. I think I'm going to have to get rid of these bounty hunting, as long as I have to travel alone. am I going? What am I doing? What jobs do we have? I guess I'll go here. Hmm. 41. I'm gonna do that. Oh, 39, is that it? Well, I guess that's a thing. Lord. That's We land on the station. Lana says, "From what I understand of Korg diplomacy, we're just supposed to ask any one of them to direct to someone who can answer our questions." He walks up to a Korg who is standing near the dock bay and says, "Excuse me, can you lead us to someone we can talk to?" It nods and gestures for you to follow and leads you to a nook in one of the main hallways where another Korg stands behind a desk. You are struck by how little you know about the species. Are you speaking to a tour guide or to a diplomat? You were led to this individual because this is the governor of the station, or just because this is someone who speaks human languages. The Korg behind the desk says, "Do you have questions for me?" "Can you give us information about the pug?" Korg is silent for a moment. "The pug have meddled with the affairs of many species in this galaxy," it says, "but they are not native to it. They come here through artificial wormholes, a technology that not even the Drak possess. Their actions are unpredictable. They claim to be acting on special knowledge of future events, but we do not know if that knowledge is genuine or only an excuse to play tricks on other species." "So, advanced, do we have any chance of defeating them?" "Yes," it says. "In battle, the pug always responds with just enough force that their opponent has a fair chance of victory." Londo is confused. "What do you mean?" he asks. "War is a game to the pug," Korg says. "They are a strange species. If they start a war, their goal may not be to win it, but to lose it in a certain way. You have seen them lose battles against species far less advanced than your own, even though they had weapons that would have guaranteed them victory. If they want war, you must play their game, and if you play their game, they may allow you to win." "That makes no sense," said Londo. "They would die for the sake of a game?" Korg pauses for a moment and is struggling for words. I am myself, and also I am Korg. You are yourselves, and also you are human. But we think perhaps a pug is pug first, and then also itself. Their identity is communal rather than individual, says Alondo. Indeed. And because they are so deeply connected, they perceive all things as being connected to them. At least that's the best understanding we have been able to gain of their species. No, apologize. Is there any chance you can give us some jump drives so we can bring a bigger fleet against the pug? No, apologize, it says. We see that you have somehow gained access to a jump drive, and we will not take it away from you, but we also cannot give your species more of it. Alright. Yeah. So, where am I going next? So 136. to go pick up your other ships, complete all the missions. Yeah, I'm going there right now, actually. So on board. Let's see. Actually, I want to come over here and kind of jump to these systems and see what's going on over here. Can't do both. Alright, we're not going to do both. What am I missing? There we go. Bluestone by 3rd of April. Have to land to unpark them, huh? Jump board. Do I even have a cargo scanner? I don't think so. Try it. Submission. Set. All right. Let's see. Trading. do that. Too close. Too close. All right. Let's see. Everybody hold. Except you. You come with me. Now let's see if I'm allowed to take it. Or if that's not allowed. That wasn't allowed. All right. All right, previous one. Let's see. cool. Thanks for joining me, man. Thanks for the follow as well. And, yeah, we'll catch you soon, I hope. Cool, man. Again, thank you for joining me. See you next time. Alright, let's land. That is the job, right? Oh, it was down here. And on Delph, okay. It's fun. Ready? So, 122. Apologies. Next. So, 6082. Alright. So, 61. Shipyard. Jump. Make sure everybody's here. So, Shipyard. Fitter. Alright. Park everything. I'm gonna go here. Alrighty. Maybe I'll go there. Wow. Well, I guess I shouldn't have done that. Alrighty. Let's try one more. Guess it's gonna be the same thing. this is cool. Thanks to my RAM scoop. Actually able to keep going practically forever. Snows of Fardor nigh. And craving dividing the weapons of war through the twilight years of their empire. What destroyed this planet in the end was not a military disaster but an ecological one. Small villages along the ocean shores were rusting fleets of boats. We are witness to the fact that this ocean world was once a fruitful fishery, but now the oceans carry high levels of industrial toxins, and in a place of large fish, only small invertebrates remain. It's a powerful weapon to our open scars on this planet were so deep the molten rock and the metal bled out through them. Presumably these wounds were inflicted by on the planet by yet another craft. Super weapon devised in the final years of the Civil War. Few ruined cities remain, some of which were sliced into by the trail of weapon fire. Relatively dry planet, only cross cities were close to the poles and the temperature morals. And lifeless deserts give way to grasslands and few skies. It was a large city, clearly destroyed by orbital bombardment. The other cities seem to have been done in by the riding or looting and leaving smashed windows, burned out buildings behind. Some of the damage is very recent. The Korath survivors here held out for a long time. Chance. Answer is no.
robots seem to prefer to build their factories and refineries in space rather than planets, harvesting raw materials from asteroids so they don't have to deal with gravity, atmosphere, or rain or sandstorms. We left this desert world unoccupied. The deserts here are home to an unusual number of plant species which have adapted to survive the occasional catastrophic flash floods.
Wow. All right. Sit here and let it recharge. Unpark my ships. All right. Thank you all for joining me, guys. I appreciate it. It's always nice having people to interact with. But I'm gonna get on out of here. I guess next time we got to do our gather the fleet and visit the deep. So yeah, that'll be fun.